Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle and today I have another book review for you all, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Midsummer's Mayhem, and it's by Regina LaRocca. Before we get into this video, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell and that like button, and let's start talking about this book. So Midsummer's Mayhem is about the main protagonist, whose name is Mimi Matson, and Mimi is the youngest sibling of three, and her dad is a food critic. The book doesn't really mention what her mom does, but her dad travels around the world a lot, tries lots of different types of food and everything, and she has a passion for baking. She really loves baking, and she bakes almost every night. So one day her dad is on a work trip, and Mimi goes into town and she sees a new bakery, and she decides to go in and, you know, try one of their pastries, see if she likes it or not, see if it's Mimi approved or not. So she tries a pastry, and she knows a lot about baking and you know, different types of ingredients and everything. So when she tries it, she has an interesting opinion about it, and the person who's working there takes interest in her and can see that she has a passion for baking. So she tells her that she should totally apply for this contest that's going on. And if Mimi can win this contest, she gets to win what's called a golden leaf, so it's something that's really prized where Mimi lives. So Mimi, after lots of convincing from the shop owner and the person that was helping her out with the pastries, she decides to, you know, compete in the competition. So she goes home and she's been thinking and thinking and thinking, what should she bake for the contest? And a little backstory about Mimi before I continue talking about what's happening in the book. Mimi, as I mentioned, is a sibling of one of the siblings of the other three, and she always feels like an outcast because it feels like everyone else is always talking over her, or she doesn't really get as much attention as her other siblings. But she tries not to mind that too much. She tries not to pay much attention to that. And she puts like all of her emotions and all of these mixed feelings into her baking. And among all of the people in her family, her dad is the one who seems to pay more attention to her and pay attention to her passion for baking. And because he's a food critic, he always tries her food and gives his opinion on it. So Mimi loves baking with her dad and having him try out whatever she baked. Back to what I was talking about. So like I said, Mimi is thinking about what she should bake for this contest, and also with all of this going on, they have new neighbors. And her sisters, or one of her sisters, Jules, decides that she wants Mimi to bake something for their new neighbors so that they can go over, say hi, ask if they want to play soccer or anything like that, because they have a child that's Jules' age, and so Mimi is forced to bake brownies for the neighbors. So she does that. And they go over to their neighbor's house, and they are, you know, playing soccer outside, when all of a sudden there's this tune that Mimi hears, and it's a really nice tune, and she really likes it. And all of a sudden something goes wrong. Mimi was never really good at playing soccer, and her sister passes her the ball and tells her to kick it into the goal and that nothing will happen. But when Mimi kicks the ball, it hits the plate of brownies, and all the brownies go crashing to the ground, and the plate breaks and everything. So now her sisters have broken into an argument about whose fault it was, and all of a sudden, when Mimi hears this tune, acorns start dropping on the neighbors and her sisters, and she's wondering what's going on. And for some reason, none of the acorns fall on her. So she's been noticing weird things like this happening. But she doesn't pay much attention to that because she's super focused on baking for this contest, what to bake for this contest. And when her dad comes back from his work trip, she has so much to tell him about the tune she's been hearing, about the acorns, about the contest and all of that. But as I mentioned earlier, she feels like an outcast because everyone always seems to be talking over her or always has something to say, and they have their turn to talk, but Mimi doesn't. And so Mimi ends up not being able to tell her dad about all of these exciting things that she wanted to share. But she notices that something's off about her dad, especially after the first day of him being back. Usually, like I mentioned earlier, he's always giving his opinion on her food, and obviously he's a food critic, so he has a lot to say, uses lots of different words to describe her food. And when she asks him for help or what his opinion is on the things that she's tried baking for the contest, he gives her the same word over and over again, just scrumptious, and leaves. He has nothing else to say. He's not really giving his proper opinion on it. And every time, a lot of times, when she sees her dad, she sees a shade of violet kind of pop up in his eyes, and then it disappears a second later. So that's what's going on in this book. I know it's a lot, but it's a very exciting book, and my rating for this book would be a 9 out of 10. It's super fun, it's super thrilling, you know, it's really fun to just stay along and with Mimi on her journey. So if you guys want to check this book out, then make sure you check out the description box below, where I will leave the links for Amazon, Google Books, Barnes & Nobles. If you click on the links for Google Books on the bottom right corner of your screen, it should show what the nearest libraries this book is available at near you. And so check out the description box. And yeah, that's all I have to say about this book. And as you guys know, in every single one of my book reviews, I have a segment where I show you guys what the next book I'm going to be reviewing looks like, and it's called the sneak peek. That's what the segment is called. So here is what the next book I'm going to be reviewing looks like. And it is called Some Kind of Happiness. It's by Claire Legrand. If you guys want to check that video out, make sure you check out my page. I post every Sunday, so I will see you guys next Sunday with the new video. Bye guys!